Dyer's Daily.
For another podcast that I present called 90s and Noughties UK, I recently did a chat about 90s Now albums with a friend of mine called Darren. And we had initially said we were going to do the whole decade's worth in like 25-30 minutes. And then as we were going through it one by one, I think we got to maybe 30 minutes in, 40 minutes in, something along those lines. And we were only maybe 2 or 3, maybe 5 Now albums into the 90s, right? And they released 2 a year. So we were only up to about 1993 by that point. And I said that we'd make it into a series, which I'm sure we will. I will talk to him about it at a later stage. But I would not have been able to have done it, that conversation, had I not had this book that I was bought a few years ago now. And I've been collecting, I collected Now albums for years. I now stopped and mainly kept the ones that were during my childhood and teen years, because they're the tracks that I remember and they're stuff that I'd like to pass on to my children. But I've got this book here, and there's one album that I don't own on CD or record, but I do have a cassette of it that I picked up over the years. It's Now 19, which was first released in March of 1991. And there's some amazing tracks on there. And one of the things that Darren and I picked up on in the conversation was the amount of tracks on these Now albums that were from other eras. So on this one that I previously mentioned, we've got things like Should I Stay, Should I Go by The Clash, which was featured in a commercial around the same time, which further emphasizes what I always think, which is it's not about when something was made, it's about when it was popular. And with the case of that track by The Clash, there are many different times. You know, it's not old, it's still pretty popular now, it's still quite an iconic song. And there are lots of things here on the same token that have disappeared over time. When was the last time you heard Wiggle It by Two in a Room, or The Stonk by Hale, Pace and the Stonkers? But then that is a different kettle of fish, isn't it? Tell me, what is your favourite Now album? Do let me know. One of my favourites, as I say, is Now 19. What's yours? I can't wait to hear from you.
Dyer's Daily.